it's great that you are in the States, but I think perhaps it would be even greater if we could have some of you here in Indonesia. Now, what are your thoughts? I mean, about sharing some of your time, your efforts, your.
I'm aware of the need of my motherland. I think what's holding us, not stopping, holding is that, as I say, it's chicken egg problem. Okay, mm-hmm. Where do you start? Okay, where do you put the office? Is it going to be in Jakarta? Is it going to be in Bandung? Mm-hmm. Is it going to be in Bogor? Okay, where is the infrastructure? Where do people want to live? Okay, if we want to bring expatriates back from other parts of the world, where most likely they want to live? Okay, and we are working on studying this for quite a while. It's feels like slow. Okay, it's painfully slow, but we want to make sure that if we start, we don't want to pull out. Okay, we want to make sure that if we're here for good. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you shouldn't miss it, because now Indonesia is coming into the golden period of.
Everybody's saying me the same thing. Sehat, okay, it is.
Yes, I mean they have the young demographics, the consumer class, and more educated and more sort of urban population. But on the other hand, because particularly in a country like Indonesia, where there is a huge economic gaps, now cost is a problem, obviously, and there has to be sort of more efforts to make gadgets and things cheaper. Now, I understand that you were one of the proponents of the one laptop per child program.
I'm actually, well, thank you for mentioning that. We've been working there for quite a while. Mm-hmm. Some of us working in this area, and I think we are on our ways to solve this cost problem. The cost to build those products in the next few years will be so low that you can imagine how could this happen. However, what I'm afraid of is that Indonesia will not be able to take advantage of that low-cost devices if we don't do the right thing now. Such as the infrastructure. If you look at our broadband infrastructure, we are way behind. In order to build that broadband infrastructure in Indonesia, it will take more than 2 years. And it's not a problem that we have to solve, another problem that people are not talking about. We have huge waste of TV bands. TV stations owns a lot of frequency bands, very valuable bands, highly politically charged. TV stations do not need that band. You only need a fraction of those bands to be able to broadcast any content you want. About 1/4 of what's allocated. If we reallocate a fraction of that, 100, 200 megahertz of those bands, to enable broadband for the masses, we can bring Indonesia to the industrial world, using new technology to bring broadband to the masses, almost instantly. Technologies are here, coming. Low-cost devices are coming. The politics, the regulations are way behind the devices. I'm more worried about that, actually. Not worried about the devices. Whether it comes from us or it comes from our competitions, they're coming. Whether we are late or not, they're going to come in within like 6 months or 9 months of each other. The politics not coming in 6 months, 9 months after the devices are out. Talk about cost. The more we fragment the bands, the higher the cost. If we have one contiguous band, the cost will be very, very low, extremely low. We can build a handset smartphones, LTE, 4Gs in a year or so from now for less than $75. If we have
if the will is there.
if we have contiguous bands, if we freed up the bands, so that we don't have to have like so many bands to process.
As a by the way, one Indonesian entrepreneur with experience abroad who decided to expand his business at home is one Andrew Darwis. Andrew started his own online company while he was studying in Seattle in the US. He is the founder of Kaskus, the largest and most successful online community in Indonesia. To be sure, this is not on the scale of a global company such as Marvel, but the presence of Kaskus in Indonesia has done much to make the country one of the world's fastest growing internet and social media users.
We got the opportunity to learn from outside Indonesia, like me, when get advantage of knowing internet early in US. So we got like all the technology, we got all the luxury of the technology first. So if we can bring it back to Indonesia, I think we got more advantage from the others. Kaskus was born in 1989. Yeah, we are early in the industry, so there's none like website back then. So only a news portal like The Tick. And then we keep innovating, and then we keep growing, we keep like adding more features on Kaskus. And the main important thing is like we keep to be accessed until now. We build Kaskus with the mind is not for like getting money or get rich. So we just want to serve. When people using Kaskus back then, so I feel like very happy, like they can get something from Kaskus. That's why the most important, I think, that the passion. And then when you have a passion, and then you keep building, and you keep like persistent, like having it, I think it will become like success.
As we see, Indonesia is not lacking in terms of smart innovators, entrepreneurs, and people with a desire to succeed and compete. Technology is not only the business of the future, it is the business of today, and many young people are keen to be part of this industry and its lifestyle. Most Indonesians are techno-savvy, at least when it comes to using the gadgets. According to recent findings, over 60 million mobiles or handphones were purchased in Indonesia in 2013. The country has a 114% penetration rate of mobiles, with a population of 250 million. Much of it is driven for social media users, placing Indonesia as Facebook's fourth largest market and as the fourth largest Twitter country in the world, with Jakarta as Twitter's #1 city. This makes Indonesia an attractive market for every gadget-related manufacturing company wanting to make their fortune. Unless we start leading in innovation and entrepreneurship, however, Indonesia risks remaining a country of passive consumers rather than active producers, something that requires an overhaul in the way the government implements its technology, business, as well as education policies. Probably by changing the nation's mental model to one that has long-term vision and the desire to be part of the global future. Indonesia's leading and innovative educator, Professor Johannes Surya, knows very well the importance of pushing young Indonesians to excel, particularly in the fields of math and science, and creating an environment where they are constantly challenged to perform and compete.
Jadi saya melihat ada sesuatu yang harus diperbaiki gitu. Nah, kemudian saya lihat di tahun 2010 itu jumlah paten Indonesia di internasional itu hanya 15. Sedangkan Cina, saya cari informasinya 314.000. Amerika 216.000. Nah, berarti ada yang salah di sini. Itu sebabnya saya bilang harus dimulai sesuatu gerakan. Gerakan bagaimana orang-orang Indonesia mulai melakukan riset. Riset yang benar-benar top class gitu. world class gitu. Nah gimana caranya? Saya bilang riset itu di universitas. Jadi akhirnya saya bilang kita putuskan bikin universitas. Tapi universitas itu harus berbasis research. Sekarang ini abad teknologi, abad globalisasi ya. Orang bicara riset yang terdepan. Nah itu yang menjadi daya saing kita di abad globalisasi ini kan. Yang akan menentukan apakah kita bisa survive, apakah kita akan bisa bersaing dengan negara-negara di dunia ini. Ya ini riset ini, inovasi ini. Kalau kita nggak ada inovasi, habis aja kita. Seorang itu akan lebih dihargai jika dia bisa memberi daripada menerima gitu. Nah, sekarang kalau dia bisa memberikan sesuatu dari dirinya gitu, ya dengan inovasi-inovasi, orang akan lebih menghargai dia daripada dia hanya menerima teknologi hasil inovasi itu sendiri gitu. Seorang anak muda apalagi yang sekarang yang masih punya idealisme, punya semangat gitu ya, akan lebih dihargai saya katakan kalau dia mau dihargai ke depannya kalau dia terjun sebagai inovator.